God is telling you to be still. We think that we have it all together. We think that just because we plan it so detailed, so much time being put in a single plan for a single purpose, whether that is a job application, whether that is to study something, whether that's to apply for a certain degree at a university, whether it's even hobbies. We assume that we are ready. We assume that, we have it all together just because we've planned it, just because we think that it's going to go our way. I just want to let you know that God's plans usually takes longer than pride expects. I think a big problem these days in Christians is that sometimes we are ahead of ourselves and we create plans based off our own thoughts, based off our own feelings, based off what we want to do, based off what we think that we should do. When those plans don't go our way, based off something we can't control, we usually get angry at God. Back in high school, when I first started to pray, all my prayers were about me, and just praying about good grades, getting the right job, getting the right uni degree. Some of it didn't go well, and I used to get angry, thinking, why are you doing this, God? Why? I'm doing all this hard work, and yet I'm not seeing the results. That's usually the first response when something goes wrong in our plans, is that we take it to God and we're angry at Him. I feel like we just need to take a step back and realize that the Bible also answers these things, that God answers us through the Bible with this problem. I think a big one is Psalms 37:7, where it says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for Him. Do not fray when people succeed in their ways." There's plenty of other verses, such as Exodus 14:14 and Psalms 46, where it also tells us to be still and that the Lord will fight for us and that He is God. And I'm sure there are many more in regards to being patient. The reason why I want to emphasize Psalm 37:7 is because that ending part is also as important as being still. And that is to do not fray when people succeed in their ways. Do not be discouraged when you see people succeeding. Do not compare yourself to people who are succeeding, because that is their plan. That is what God has for them. You have your own plans, but God's plans are greater. You have to be still, even when you see people succeeding around you. Comparison is the thief of joy. It weighs you down because when you see other people succeeding, you're thinking to yourself, where is my success? Where is my hard work going to? Because it feels like it's going to nothing. I'm being rejected by job applications. I'm being rejected by universities. I'm being rejected by people. You could be rejected by everything. And yet God tells you one simple thing is to just be still, to not compare yourself. Do not discourage yourself when you see others succeed, but rather be joyous. Be glad that other people are succeeding around you, because you know that God is telling you to be still for something that is greater to come for yourself. So what do I mean by being still? Because sometimes Christians think, oh, I should just sit down and do nothing. Being still does not mean to just sit down and do nothing. That's not what God is trying to tell us. God is trying to tell us to come to Him in this time of waiting, to prepare yourself for the things that are to come that God has planned for you. Whether that is reading your Bible more often, whether that is praying more, whether that is going to church more, whether it's a Bible study more, God is telling you to be closer to Him, to be by His feet while you wait. Because as you grow closer to God, God is preparing you more and more for the things that He has prepared for you. That's what it means to be still. And yes, sometimes it can be challenging, I have had my periods of being still. I believe I've just gone through a couple months of being still. I was rejected by jobs. I was rejected by universities. I was really asking God, what is going on? Because I've worked all this time, and just for all it just to be rejected, to all just kind of go away. And I realized more and more that God wanted me to be in this position right now so I could learn more, that I could grow more. And that's what happened. I became closer to my word. I prayed more. I even fasted during my times. I've done so many things that I didn't do before my waiting, that I didn't do before being still, that God gave me this period where I was able to grow more and understand Him more, and realize that He's just preparing me. He's building me stronger for what's to come. And I still don't know what's to come, to be honest with you. That's what it just means to be a Christian, because sometimes you have to go according to God's purpose, and it may not be as good as you think it is. But every waiting, every struggling period has its own purpose. Being still right now does not mean you are wasting time. You are building yourself up for a greater purpose beyond what you can imagine, because that's what God has for you. So I just say to you, just wait, be still, seek the Lord, read your Bible more, pray more, go to church, go to Bible studies. That's what being still means. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully it was able to inspire you and motivate you and give you some sense of hope, knowing that waiting does not mean you are staying still. That does not mean you are lagging behind. Please, if you would like to support the video, if it helped you that much, please like it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. See ya.